You're listening to the HUD Podcast, the official podcast for the Hudsonian newspaper at Hudson Valley Community College. An HVCC podcast for the students, by the students. Your news now. Get ready to enter the HUD. Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome back to the HUD, the official podcast for the Hudsonian newspaper at Hudson Valley Community College. I'm your host, Nolan Cleary. I'm the managing editor for the Hudsonian. Student Activity Center at HVCC is the heart of Hudson Valley's campus, from funding sports and clubs to providing extra help for struggling students. The only problem? COVID-19 has largely put the Student Activity Center's plans on hold, with students unable to show up to get those services in person. Thankfully, they have a plan to fix those problems. Alfredo Balarin is the head of student activities at Hudson Valley Community College. He joins me today to discuss. Alfredo, thank you for joining me.
No problem. Glad to make time for you and our students.
So tell students who may or may not be familiar, what is the Student Activities Office and what do they do?
Well, Student Activities is the office on campus that allows students to develop their soft skills, the interpersonal skills, their abilities to work collectively with other individuals, and their ability to build the decision-making skills. And part of what we do is, give students a avenue to have some abilities to be making decisions and the consequences of those decisions. So it's an office that oversees our student government, as well as roughly 50 to 60 clubs, depending on the year and depending on what clubs are active. It gives students an opportunity to take a leadership role. It gives students an opportunity to build their confidence before they get out into the workplace. So it's been an office that has brought the campus together, that has celebrated good times and has brought the campus together to mourn difficult times. So it's normally one of the offices that you see highlighted weekly through different giveaways, different programming, and different activities that are going on throughout the campus throughout the semester.
So what are some of the specific services provided by Student Activities?
Well, our Student Activities Office houses our on-campus food pantry. So if students are facing food insecurity, or just hungry for a day and forgot their lunch at home and don't have any cash on them, they can visit our food pantry and get a snack or get 2 bags of food to take home. So that's one of our most widely used programs, and that's open to all students. We also have movie tickets discounts that on a normal annual situation we would be selling discount movie tickets to our students. So students will have the opportunities to come on campus and buy 2 movie tickets at a discount price. Unfortunately, because of our current situation, that's something that we don't have going on at this moment. Also, in the past, we've done discount trips to New York City, Radio City Music Hall, and different locations throughout the year, depending on the timing of the year. Again, unfortunately, because of the pandemic, that is something that we've had to put on hold until everything gets back to a new normal, because it's not going to be how it was, which is in some cases there will be some benefits to what we've learned from this experience. But that's something that we look to bring back once we get back to a safer situation.
Now, you were just talking about how some services have changed because of the COVID-19 pandemic. How has your job personally changed because of the COVID-19 pandemic? And how has your experience as the head of student activities been shaped by that?
Well, we've had to evolve. We've had to, be open to new ideas and be creative in what we do and how we provide environment for students to interact, as well as how we provide, an opportunity for students to get something that makes them not think of all the craziness that's going around in the world and just, have a moment of peace. So we've switched to remote, just like we've switched remote learning, we've switched to remote activities. So, every week students can go online and get a gift card to Subway or Stewart's. If every other week, students can sign up for a cookie therapy package to be mailed to their home. We have trivia that's open to all students, as well as Zumba and yoga that's weekly and open to all students as well. So we've really had to shift what we've done to a remote structure, and it's been very successful. We just did a apple picking activity where we opened up apple picking for students to get mailed a gift certificate to go apple picking with their family and friends. So, we had over 200 students sign up for that. We're doing a pumpkin palooza in a virtual manner. Normally we give out pumpkins for students to bring back and showcase. Well, we're going to do it all remotely, where students can sign up and get a gift card to Yonder's Farm, and then they can go and pick out their own pumpkin and carve it out and present it in the competition. We've done dye. That's been something that is a huge success. We tried it our first week back, and originally we only purchased a packet for 25 students. We didn't know how successful it was going to be. Well, it sold out within the first hour. So our second round, which we did this week, we purchased packets for 100 students, and that's also sold out within the first week. So it's great to see the students are using our services. It's great to see that we have different activities for different students, and that people are still taking advantage of our abilities to put a smile on a student's face, even in some difficult times.
Now, I want to talk a little bit about the gift card giveaways. There's an article out right now on the Hudsonian.org from staff writer Samantha Simmons about the gift card giveaways. In that article, you were quoted saying, "quote We like to keep the money in the local economy." You also talked about helping out local businesses and how that was incorporated into some of the giveaways. What are some of the local businesses that have been incorporated into the giveaways?
So we try to go as broad as possible, but also as local as possible. So Stewart's is a local, entity. I mean, it's a capital district entity, but it's broad enough where if you live in Clifton Park, or if you live in East Greenbush, or if you live, in Altamont, there's very likely you have a Stewart's near you that you can cash in and get your ice cream in. So but Stewart's is still a very regional institution. If you go downstate, there aren't any Stewart's there. So, it may seem like we're helping a major corporation because Stewart's is big, but it's really a regional entity. But it's broad enough that any student that is attending Hudson Valley, for the most part, in the local area, would be able to benefit. Same thing with Subway. Subway is a broad enough organization that even if you live downstate, you can take advantage of that benefit. The Cookie Therapy is a company that's local in Langstonburg. The beautiful part about them is that they will ship you your product anywhere you are. So even if you're out of state, they will ship you your cookie to your home. But again, that's a local a local business that we're working with. Yonder's Farms is another local business that we're working with. Uh, the name of the farm for apple picking escapes me, but again, that's also a local business that we're working with. So the goal is to try to help our local economy as much as we can, to try to make sure that our services are still broad enough for all students to be able to benefit, but still helps the local individuals who are trying to get through this difficult time, because we're all trying to get through this difficult time. It has been a year like no other, and there's been a lot of pain in our communities and in our country. So anything we can do to try to help each other out.
I want to ask about virtual services, because I know some of the services that were previously provided to students in person have now been virtualized. Can you explain to people what services that may have been in person provided by student activities are now online and virtually?
So we provide our biweekly leadership trainings. And we've done that for years now with our HVCC leads. And we're doing all of those now in a virtual structure. We've supported our Constitution Day initiatives. This year we supported it by giving any students that signed up, a gift card for their time and their participation. Normally we provide food at these events. So we've kind of shifted the concept of providing food live at events to providing gift cards remotely at events. So students still get that community sense, but also have that small incentive that has made student activities that combination of fun while still being academically and engaging and growth for our students.
Now, I want to ask about the current $10 million hole at Hudson Valley. Right now, HVCC has lost $10 million in the midst of COVID, and there are a lot of fears about clubs and other activities losing funding, or student activities not being able to provide services the way they previously could. Lots of fears about budget cuts. Do students at Hudson Valley need to worry about that?
Well, that's out of my scope. I can tell you that the student activities office and the student activity fee has been funded. We did see a reduction in our funding because of a decline in enrollment, but not to the point where any of our programming or initiatives are at risk. And we do hope that enrollment will go up once we get out of the pandemic. And also, it's important for me to just state that the student activities budget is through the student activity fee that all students pay. That is a separate budget that's administrated to the FSA. So even though we are a part of the institution and we are here to support and help our institutional partners, our budget line is separate from the institutional lines. So we are administrative. We run all our expenses through the FSA. So, we did see a dip in our student activity fee, but it was a small. I don't want to say a small dip. It was 10%. But even though 10% is significant, we're going to see savings from activities that we are not doing that will make up that loss. So we're going to see, we're not doing travel this year. So we're going to see savings from our travel expenses that's going to make up that loss in revenue. We're not having as many student workers, as we would have had. Well, we don't have any student workers that we're paying through our student activity fee line at this point. So we're saving those dollars. So there's So even though we've seen a reduction in our revenue, a small reduction. I just want to make sure it's clear. It's not. It's much smaller than I think the reduction we saw was roughly about 75,000, 80,000. And I don't have the exact numbers here in front of me, but that's going to be absorbed by the savings of the activities because of the pandemic that we can't do. So we're going to be in really good, solid shape. None of our clubs should be concerned about not having funding. None of our student government shouldn't be concerned. It's because of the way we're funded that we're kind of in many ways shielded from a lot of the other issues. Now, our office isn't completely shielded because we all have to be aware of the difficulties our institution is in. But the activities that are done from our student government and for our clubs, their funding is in good shape. I mean, we're in very good shape financially. We're very fortunate to be able to say that. We have a strong fund balance. We've been very financially and responsible, very fiscally responsible throughout these years. So we are in good shape. So no club should be worried about their funding. No activities are going to be taken away because of this. Well, let me take 2 steps back. No activities that we could do, like we can't do travel right now. So, so that's being taken back, but it's not because, of funding. Just want to make that clear. Funding, we are in good shape.
Earlier you were talking about how student activities is in charge of trivia night and how students can join trivia night. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, they can sign up online. It's every week, every Wednesday evening. They can sign up online. They can create their own team. There's prizes, first, second, and third prize contestants, all for teams. It's a good, fun activity. It's a good way to interact with your peers. It's a good way to, have a moment of, relaxation and socialization, still being in a safe and distant structure.
And obviously, in that article about from staff writer Samantha Simmons about the topic, you talked a lot about how your job at HVCC was affected since COVID began, and you talked a little bit about that on the show today. Based on your interactions with students, how have they taken to this change?
I think they've been pretty positive. I mean, we've lost that interpersonal. We've lost a lot of that interpersonal connections and relationships that our office is known for building. But we've really had a really good showing in all of our activities. Our numbers have really shown that there's a lot of interaction and a lot of engagement, which is part of what we want to do. And we want to get students to feel that they were part of the campus community, even if they are, learning from home. And we want them to feel that connection, and we want them to get excited about, different opportunities that are coming, from our institution. We want them to get excited about getting that, packet of cookies. We want them to get excited about getting their gift certificates to go get a sandwich at Subway, or, get their ice cream card from Stewart's, or get their ticket to go apple picking and have a fun activity for them to do while still being socially distanced and being in their own family cohorts, but still being able to enjoy the benefits of what our office has to offer.
All right, well, that about wraps up this week's episode. Alfredo, thank you again for joining me.
Well, thank you, and I want to thank the Hudsonian staff. I think you guys are doing a really good job to have gotten the organization back up and running and publishing again online. We're very proud of the work you're doing, and we're very proud of the students that have taken the leadership role to, not allow this sort of organization to to go away. So thank you for the work that you're doing, and thank you for the staff at your organization for all that you guys do.
Thank you for that, sir. And make sure to tune in next week when we talk to a student on campus who recently starred in a major Netflix film. To read more about the following stories, make sure to head over to thehudsonian.org for the latest on-campus news from the Hudsonian, and make sure to listen to new episodes of The HUD every Monday.